This week's episode of The Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Netflix. Go to netflix.com/TRS for your free trial membership.
Gamefly. Check out gamefly.com/TTRS for your 2-week free trial.
And Doghouse Systems. Time to level up.
On this week's Totally Rad Show, we're talking about Scott Pilgrim versus the world! Plus, in video games, our first time ever talking about a Madden, and there's a new Bioshock in the sky. Plus, maybe a little challenge of some kind? Stay tuned.
3 rad friends spot a girl who trends, so a tweet they send. Can we be your boyfriend? Well, that does depend. Can you apprehend evil ex-boyfriends? 7 until the end. Flaming swords extend, so they can defend from bullets that bend, till they reach the end. But just one boyfriend can she choose to attend. Could this be the end of the Totally Rad Show?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Totally Rad Show, episode number 178. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
The Totally Rad Show is your weekly dose of all things rad. We basically hunt down all of the 7 evil exes of the show. Dignation, Techzilla. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to the show.
Do you remember when we used to date Techzilla?
Yeah, they were. That was awesome, actually.
Those were the days.
We had all those cool, like,
Computers. Yeah. And then HD Nation gave us all those cool big screen TVs.
I thought you were going to say the clap.
No. The horrible.
They did a clapper.
Horrible. Speaking of clap, slow clap for the intro lyrics. Amazing, right? We're talking about Scott Pilgrim.
There's a lot of Scott Pilgrim. There's a lot of people who sent Scott Pilgrim intro lyrics.
So Mark Davidson wins the show.
Wins the show.
They were all pretty excellent.
They were all excellent.
But speaking of amazing multiple submissions, background this week, Donovan Myers.
Nocturnal submissions.
Amazing.
And emailed them to us at night.
And there were a lot of people who sent awesome Scott
right through that one.
I'm trying. We got a lot of awesome Scott Pilgrim backgrounds this week. So many, and so it was so difficult for us to choose that we're actually going to show them all to you, or many of them to you, at the end of the show.
A select featured for you.
Because we picked this one that Donovan sent in, which we love, but it was very difficult, and there's so many very, very cool ones that you want to see.
Speaking of Scott Pilgrim, let's speak about
let's not. We got to tell them about a couple things. One, PAX.
Oh, yeah, right.
We're coming to that. We want to go to there.
We are going to that.
What are the facts on PAX?
We're going to be on Saturday.
Facts on PAX.
Yep. 3:30, 3, 4?
Oh, I don't know. I get confused.
Either 3:30 or 4.
Right here, dude. It's all good. Right here.
Oh, good.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so Saturday for PAX.
It's in Seattle.
Yep.
We're in the Serpent Theater, I believe. And
can they still get tickets for PAX?
I don't know that.
Go out to Seattle. It's an awesome video convention. It might be our favorite.
I think it's my favorite. You know my favorite thing about it is
I don't know.
It wasn't
Comic-Con.
Really
my favorite thing about it is playing board games.
But it's great.
That's the cool thing. And last year we got a lot of cool board game experiences, and we're gonna just double down on board game experiences this year. So it should be fun.
We also have to jump the gun here and wish Alex a happy birthday.
Hey! Bam! Why did I shoot everybody in the audience?
Everyone.
Just jumped it.
Yes, thank you kindly.
Your gift as well as Jeff's is in the mail.
I like mail gift. Your gift? It's very hard to find one of those.
Wait till you see your gift.
Amazing! I can't wait. Well, thanks for the birthday wishes.
Happy birthday, bro.
Now, let's talk Scott Pilgrim. What?
This week in movies, we're going to talk about Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. So, back in 1981, a young Steven Spielberg and George Lucas made an homage to the films they grew up with, the old serials with Indiana Jones.
Actually, it was called Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, there's the character,
whatever.
Indiana Jones.
Smash. Whatever that means.
Cut to 2010. And the director, Edgar Wright, of Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, and the comic book creator of Scott Pilgrim, Brian Lee O'Malley, have created an homage to the things that they grew up with, which is our generation, the Nintendo generation, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is that. So the premise is simple and absurd. Scott Pilgrim, a member of a band, falls in love with Ramona and has to battle her seven evil exes to date her. It stars Michael Cera as Scott Pilgrim and a vast cast that you guys feel free to bring up as we discuss.
Vast
Jeff,
indeed.
what did you think of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World? Big fan that we talked about the comic.
We did, episode 55.
All right, sir.
Oh,
I rewatched it last night.
Oh, interesting.
To remind myself what you guys thought of the comic and what I said about the comic.
And I believe you said very positive things.
I did. And what I was reminded about, in fact, was that you read it and didn't like it.
The first time.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
then reread it and fell in love with it.
And I've since read all. Have you finished the series?
I haven't.
Okay, so here we go. There's that, and
begin, and go. It's awesome. The movie's awesome. It's like the hipster Citizen Kane. It defines cool. And it's interesting to me that you framed our discussion in the context of Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, that is to this. Because I really came out of this movie feeling like we have gotten to the point now that the last 10 years have been, a large trend of the last 10 years in cinema has been about taking these properties like Batman and Superman and Spider-Man and X-Men, all these properties that are very nerd-centric, and sort of mainstreaming them and bringing these very nerdy things, very genre, very geek-centric things into the mainstream by transforming them and kind of smoothing their edges a little bit, I would say. And now we're at this point with this movie, with Kick-Ass.
There's a fire going on, by the way. That's
I'm
what
sure
all that
no one
is.
can even hear that. But with this movie and with Kick-Ass, I think are great examples of how now we've gotten to the point where it's not about transforming these things from our childhood into cool stuff. It's about celebrating the coolness that's inherent in them and having a common touchstone of all that stuff to the audience. And it's like a celebration of all that stuff. I love this movie. It is the fights are fantastic. It's really great. I wish it had as much of the heart and catharsis that I got with Kick-Ass. There's some of that at the end of the movie but it's so much more interested in being an awesome experience that it doesn't really delve past that first level of awesome into a meatier, deeper experience for me.
Interesting.
Alex, not a fan of the comic book.
No.
Of the movie?
Yeah, I thought the movie was sort of pitch perfect for me as what the movie is, and I think you really nailed it. It's a movie for geeks. I think that's amazing, and I'm excited about the fact that it is a movie for geeks and people who grew up with this thing. It also, I think, is the thing that has going against it, because I don't know.
Very niche.
Yeah, very niche. This is not going to be Dark Knight. You know what I mean? And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it'll transcend. But it's so clearly like I, went and saw it, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. And Heather was like, oh, should I see it? And I was like, I mean, maybe, but you should probably just see it like on cable or rent it or something, because it's not for you. It's not. You're not going to get the, oh my God, these little video game references that are so rich, and that the whole.
But
the
you
whole
don't
thing
think
is
she
you're
would
watching,
also just find it funny?
She would.
It's very funny.
She would. I don't think she would in a theater. I think that's why I would say don't spend $14 to have the funny, because there is a lot of that. There's funny, there's heart, and all that stuff. But it's really at its core, the genius of this movie is how well it applies the sort of like tropes of video games to reality. I mean, obviously it's a heightened reality, but even little things where it's like you gotta, repeat the level to get why you.
It's what happened in our head as a
the
kid.
First time.
It's the fantasy world in our
Exactly.
in our heads as kids.
Of like, I gotta fight.
Manifest.
I gotta fight guys, and though I am a scrawny, nerdy kid, I'm also an awesome fighter.
Yeah.
And they're just like, that just happens. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I think that's going to be lost on the people who didn't grow up in the video game generation. But for me, amazing, fun film.
While I didn't love...
And the shoe tying thing, one of the best gags I've ever seen.
Forgotten about that. While I didn't love every second of the movie, there are seconds of this movie that I loved with every fiber of my being, and one of those seconds is the first millisecond of the movie. And there's no one who grew up with Nintendo that won't just cavell over like a logo.
True.
I think you said Guillermo del Toro and Haunted Mansion, greatest filmmaker and material pairing.
Yeah.
I disagree. Edgar Wright and Scott Pilgrim, and the comic book is self-referential and hypertextual, and every movie that Edgar Wright and even his television series Spaced is that way. And so for him to be married with this material where titles and icons are coming up on screen, and there's such a wonderful visual style there. The movie has a mind of its own, and I love movies like this with the text and that. And Ferris Bueller's Day Off is like this, when it has a character speaking to camera, and where it feels like it's a conversation between the filmmaker and us. Like even though there's no one directly addressing the camera in this movie, everything feels like it's like he's pitching the movie.
In on it with him.
He's using every aspect of filmmaking, from the cinematography to the set direction to the graphics on screen,
sound design,
to like pitch the movie to us as it's happening. We're not just seeing it; it's being pitched to us.
It's almost a multimedia experience.
The sound design, I think, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Also, the dialogue has a very 1930s style rhythm to it. There's a rhythm to the dialogue that is also there in his editing. And the editing and the visuals have a rhythm to them. The way the dialogue has a rhythm
and
to
a pace, a rhythm and a pace that could have been very tiresome for an audience to keep up over that length of a movie. It's very fast, and the comedy works exactly because of the rhythm. The comedy works because it's a staccato, like boom, 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 and a little head pops in, or a body flies away, or all that stuff is really handled deftly and could have felt really too much. It could have been too impactful, too much, too quickly, too like being bludgeoned over the head. And it isn't. It does sustain over the course of the entire movie, and I think that is a testament to good filmmaking.
Also, the music. The music is really, really good in this.
The soundtrack?
Yeah. Like the stuff that
songs.
you hear, the songs that you hear, and it's a very uplifting movie.
I found at times it was a little bit too absurd, specifically the first Evil X fight. You said you didn't find a catharsis, but I loved, both in the comic and the movie, the idea of fighting 7 evil X's, which is overtly like a fun action movie. But underneath that, like, you're dealing with the past of who you're in a relationship with, which everyone can identify with, which I would say perhaps all ages can get into that. Also, I think you're right that it probably is too niche, but there is something to be said about
there's something
it's so visually bold that it's something to be seen that people may just enjoy because it's such a unique viewing experience.
Sort of like 300, where.
Okay, go.
The moment where I felt like, oh, we're really going to get to some point of catharsis, going to get to some really deeper level discussion, is when he all of a sudden is going to have to fight Nega, his alternate, and then that's just played as a gag instead of, wow, there's a really poetic.
That is featured more in the comic, actually.
Yeah, it's a really poetic idea of, oh, now you're going to have to fight yourself in order to get with this girl, and it's just a gag in the movie.
Remarkably, I love Michael Cera and everything. I enjoyed watching him in this. However, I think Scott Pilgrim is such a unique character and in this movie, it felt like Michael Cera.
Really? I completely disagree. I felt it was the first time I ever saw Michael Cera playing a cool character. He had confidence, and he had, there's a point at which he gets unconfident, but through the whole beginning of the movie, he's the guy, and you never see Michael Cera like that. He never did his like awkward guy thing. He was cool.
I viewed it very differently from you. But beyond that, I think this could have been a great role for a newcomer, and like I could have seen that person as Scott Pilgrim, and I really didn't see it that way. So, but still, it's not really a detriment. It just could have been a cooler experience for me. All right,
dude, done. Bing.
All right, here we are in the first edition of Tagline Takedown, the game.
Very excited.
Where you have to guess the movie based off of its official movie poster tagline.
It's gonna be very, very cool. We're gonna see who's the best at remembering cheesy movie poster taglines.
I think I'm terrible at this, but let's do it.
We've all picked some to stump each other.
Yep.
My first one to you guys is, man has made his match. Now it's his problem.
Has made his match or met?
Made.
Man has made his match?
Man has
and now what?
And Cyborg?
Now it's his problem. And they get clues.
Not Cyborg, huh?
It's not Cyborg. They get
Okay.
clues after a certain amount of time.
Man has made his match. Jurassic Park.
Oh, that was
a good one, right?
Good
Okay, here we
guess,
go.
good
Man
guess.
has made
His
his match. Terminator. Okay. Man has made his match. Can we get a year?
A year?
Yeah.
1982.
82. Man has made his match.
I'll give you an actor
Okay.
that's not one of the main actors.
Oh,
So
okay.
it doesn't totally give it to you. Edward James Olmos is in the film.
Stand and deliver.
I think you guys will kick yourselves when it's.
Oh! Blade Runner.
Yep.
Booyah!
Think about it.
James
Man-
Olmos.
Man has made his match, not his foe. Like.
All right, moving on.
Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. I've got a couple that I love.
Good.
Here's the one that I like.
Yeah.
It's not like they didn't warn us.
We can just guess things, right? So
Yeah,
it's not
I did like 7,
Independence Day.
right? No.
Yeah. They didn't warn.
Signs.
Science!
Yes!
Amazing!
1 point. It's not just a game anymore.
Inception. No.
It's not just a game.
Searching for Bobby Fischer. Oh, the game?
Last Boy Scout.
The game. The game?
Nope.
Not sure if you heard me.
The game is still a game. I
Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers.
think. No.
Good guess.
Good
Thank you,
guess.
do that.
Then it was a year.
1985.
War Games.
Not just a game anymore.
With a
I'll give you an actor.
Okay.
It's gonna give it away.
All right.
But a low.
Madeline Kahn.
Clue! Oh, that was too easy! That was total jinx. You owe me a Coke. That's gotta be.
Ooh, I think Dan kind of did it slightly before.
Are you kidding
You should go to the replay.
Man is the warmest place to hide.
The warmest?
Yes.
Inner space.
Good guess.
That's adorable.
Inner space. Man is the warmest place to hide. Species?
No.
I got it. It's being John Malkovich?
Nope.
Oh, close. That was a good one. Man is the warmest place to hide. Man. The Thing.
Yep.
Yes!
Good job. That was really
Booyah!
good.
And amazing tagline.
Amazing. Being the adventures of a young man whose principal interests are rape, ultraviolence, and Beethoven.
Serial killer.
American Psycho.
Yes. Nope. That's what I was trying to think of. Thank you.
What did it say?
Oh, Clockwork Orange?
Clockwork Orange!
Yeah.
How great is that
Beethoven,
tagline?
of course. This has 2. So I'm gonna give you the first
Give,
one. if
give
you
us
can't-
the most
the most
obscure.
Obscure.
Okay, here we go.
They aim to misbehave.
It's not Serenity.
Is that your guess?
Serenity?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh!
Dude, you can't. Who are you talking to? He's the only kid ever to get he's the only kid ever to get into trouble before he was born.
What?
He's the only kid ever to get into trouble before he was born. Oh, it's so brilliant!
Is it twins?
Nope.
Only kid ever to get into trouble before he was born.
Back to the Future!
Yeah.
Amazing!
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 That was good.
Amazing.
Genius.
Good.
Forget all you know, or think you know.
Also familiar.
About what?
Is that it?
That's it. Forget all you know,
Eternal Sunshine of the
or
Spotless Mind?
think you know.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
No. It was
Yeah.
in 1988.
Total Recall.
No.
Good guess. That
Good
is,
guess.
That is 89 or 88. Yeah.
Good guess. Forget all you know, or think you know. Val Kilmer.
Real Genius?
Heat? No, that's later. Much later.
Okay, cool.
Top Gun?
No way.
I'll give you another actor, and this is gonna make you. You're either gonna get it, or your brain is gonna go. That movie doesn't exist.
Is Val Kilmer the star?
Kevin Pollak.
No, this is
I
different.
know.
Oh! Willow!
Yes!
Yes! From an age of innocence comes a hero for today.
Age of Innocence.
Forever Young.
Age of Innocence comes a hero of today.
For today.
for today. Last Starfighter?
I really know this.
From an age of innocence.
I really know this.
Hero for today.
It's not, is it Robin Hood? With thieves?
God, from an age of innocence. What does that even mean?
It's not
Becomes
Age of
a
Innocence.
hero for today.
And it's also not Hero Today, the movie.
Is it Fora?
Ready for the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1984.
Oh,
Karate
Encino Man?
No.
That's awesome. That's a great
Pauly
guess,
Shore
but that was
movie.
Caveman was a lot of
in
innocence.
84, but
Yeah.
that was in 84. That's a funny guess. Another actor?
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Kim Basinger.
Batman.
No, it's 88.
Yeah, but Age of Innocence. I don't know what that means. Kim Basinger?
Another hint?
Yeah.
Jeff gave it a 10 on Movies on the Run.
I love how you
It's a
wrote
10.
that out as
It's a 10.
on your thing.
And it's a movie.
I'm gonna give it away with this one. I mean,
Okay.
this one's gonna give it away, so prepare yourselves.
All right.
Actor.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I can do director instead.
Do director instead.
No, do actor.
Do
Dan will know
director
director.
instead.
I won't know
Director
director.
instead. Director.
The Big Chill?
Barry Levinson.
Diner? No.
Next movie he did after
No.
Diner.
No.
See, I don't know the director.
It's
Say the
not.
actor.
It's not New Jersey. Okay.
Say the actor.
Actor.
No.
He's gonna give it
No,
away.
stop.
Say it! Stop! Because you're just feeding Dan the question.
Robert Redford.
Oh.
The Thing?
Okay. No. Stop.
Don't stop. You got
Natural!
Yes!
Yes! The Natural! I love you, Barry Levinson! Oh, amazing!
You guys ready?
Wait, that's so nonchalant.
One man struggle to take it easy. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
You got it.
Oh, that was good. That was good. That was solid. Solid. There's 2 taglines, so I'm gonna give you the lesson. In a world where nothing is what it seems, you've got to look beyond.
The Abyss. Leviathan. Sphere.
Labyrinth.
I'm gonna just go straight to the second one because that's really vague.
Okay.
This is gonna be quick.
All right.
Gonna be quick.
All right. Well, everyone says that.
5 criminals, 1 lineup, no.
Oh,
coincidence.
Unusual Suspects.
It was not in Usual Suspects, but yes.
Unusual Suspects. No sex. No booze.
40 Days, 40 Nights.
No men. No way.
Sex in the City.
Nope.
What was that again?
No sex. No booze. No men. No way.
Private Benjamin. No, that doesn't make sense.
1992.
Private Benjamin was a
1992.
good guess.
1992.
92.
Pretty Woman. Also,
Oh my
doesn't
God.
adhere to the.
Sister Act?
Amazing. All right, I'm gonna give you
Okay.
a softball because I think it's a brilliant tagline.
Okay, Jurassic Park.
So here you go. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
The most frightening thing about Jacob Singer's nightmare is that he isn't dreaming.
Jacob's Ladder.
Yep.
Oh, Jacob Singer. The goal is to survive.
Death Race.
Close? No.
Cool.
Not even saying close.
Running Man. Running Man.
No.
That was a good guess.
That was a good guess. The goal is to survive.
Surviving the Game.
No.
Of course, Dangerous Game.
1991.
No Escape.
Goal is to survive. Predator?
So I'll give you one of the co-leads. Damon Wayans.
Last Boy Scout.
Last Boy Scout!
Oh, good job.
Someone said that earlier.
I did. It was in my brain. That was a 3-way. That happened. Amazing. Yeah,
I think this is
Boy
my
Scout.
last one.
That was my last one.
was your last one.
This is
This
the
is the
last
last one.
Goal is to.
Do I have
This is
any
a
hope?
football movie.
Wait, so I.
We could two-way tie, and then we have tiebreaker round.
So
Let's
if
go.
I,
We have extras then.
so if I win this, if I guess this, I
win.
win outright. If you guess this, it becomes 3-way tie.
Ready?
Future. Here we go. Shh. Boxing out. Boxing out.
Go for the ultimate spin. Go for the ultimate spin.
Go for the ultimate spin.
Days of Thunder. Go.
Daniel, you need to win this. Go for the ultimate spin.
Yeah.
Spin is the key word. Ultimate is also a key word, but go for the ultimate spin.
Tron?
Everything you're saying is confusing.
Tron? Not Tron, I guess. Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I'm gonna give you the year because it's gonna put you guys in a completely different paradigm.
Okay, good. Yeah.
2002.
That is
Whoa.
crazy.
Go for the ultimate spin.
Go for the ultimate spin.
You spin me right round.
In 2002.
Post 9/11 world.
Spider-Man! Yeah! I took it down! I took it down!
Alex, you win this
Congratulations.
edition of Tagline Takedown.
Bingy bingies. I say
Winner.
let's do this again.
Reload. So we've been doing this show for over 3 years,
You're
and
gonna say 30.
I was like, whoa! And we have never discussed a Madden game before. And in fact, we've never really discussed a major sports title. I mean, unless you count skateboarding games, which I don't think we do.
you would.
We've never talked about a major baseball title, major football title, FIFA, nothing like that. So this is, I thought it would be a fun to talk about Madden 11. It's the first time, like I said, we've talked about it. None of us are experts in the sports gaming genre, obviously. I'm a big football fan. I know you guys are
I'm an
relatively...
Eagles fan, not a Footballs fan.
Right. And
Amazing.
you're Chargers kind of.
Yeah.
But nobody's a passionate football fan.
I like a lot
than I
of
am.
things about football. Like I watch Hard Knocks on HBO. Amazing.
Yeah.
Like things like that, and the game that I have a stake in. Amazing.
Right.
But
Well,
Right, that's-
so
fantasy football, not
the
so
new
much.
stuff to Madden this year is online team play, and the game. Oh gosh, what's it called? Game
Flow.
Game flow.
Yeah.
Mode, which is the kind of way the game tries to put you in the action much quicker. It kind of replaces the Ask Madden of previous Madden games, and basically the conceit is you wear your headset connected to your controller, and a offensive or defensive coordinator is talking into your ear and calling the plays for you, so you just jump in and do the thing. So Alex, tell me what you thought of playing this Madden. Did you have fun? Or?
So here's the thing. We've talked about with Red Dead Redemption and StarCraft 2. We've talked about games that are amazing games in genres that I don't usually find much enjoyment out of. Hoping that those two games could transcend the genre and have a little something there for people who may not like the genre. And they did not for me. Going into this, I was like, oh, cool, we're going to review a Madden game. Not a big, huge fan of Madden games. I
played
like
growing
them.
up, though?
I played a little bit growing up. Yeah,
Sega,
but
Bo Jackson?
I had roommates that were huge sports game fans, so I would constantly be like, yeah, I'll sit down and play a couple games with you. So I have experienced a lot of sports games. I'm more the fan of like the tennis, the soccer, hockey, those kinds of games. So I was like, great, let's see what this Madden 11's all about. And the first thing that I noticed is it's beyond polished. I mean, these games are gorgeous games. Amazing
One comes out
stuff.
every year.
Yeah, but and it was a little tricky for me to find where the franchise mode was, where I was like, dude, I just want to start a season. I'm gonna pick a team, start a season, see what happens. Then I think the game flow stuff is what football games have been looking for all of those years, to bring someone like me who is interested in football, knows a little bit about football, but has none of the underlying stuff. I wouldn't know a nickel from a dime, nothing.
Do you think it's because it turns it more into sort of an arcade game experience?
No, and not at all, because that has always been there.
You just don't like the
Madden.
play calling aspect.
No, I want them to tell me why I'm choosing certain plays at a certain time.
Okay.
That is the difference.
Cool.
When the guy says, here's why you should run on this down, and then it's like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And when it succeeds or fails, it's not because I chose the wrong thing or because, well, I don't really trust what the computer just sort of said, here's a random one. And the same thing with the defense. And so what you end up doing is you get the experience of playing the game, of hiking the ball, running, doing the stuff, of trying to tackle the quarterback, trying to get the interception. You get that great visceral game experience. but you're also not treated like somebody who can't choose their own plays. It's telling you, it's teaching you how you should be choosing your own plays. And then when you get to a certain point, I started going, what are the options that I have here? And knowing what they've told me previously started getting me into choosing my own plays. And for me, it totally did what Red Dead couldn't do and what StarCraft 2 couldn't do for me, which is it got me to enjoy, really, really enjoy a sports game that I don't like the genre because of all of this stuff. And it's super fun, super polished. I loved it.
Dan, did you have a similar experience? Did you use the game flow or not?
I used the game flow quite a bit. And let me just say that what you said was completely accurate. And I've played a smattering of the Madden games in the last 5 years. Prior to that, I mean, I would say growing up, I mean, if I had to pick a game that I've put the most hours in, it probably is football games in general and Madden, just from being friends with and having friends come over and we were playing the new Madden. And I mean, my brother.
It's a great game to play against people.
We poured hours and hours into these games.
But has there been a delta between those years and now?
There's definitely been a delta. Although, as I said, I've played it here and there. I've probably played 09 and then, or probably played 07 and then last year's 10 and now this one.
Do you miss the turbo button?
I thought I would miss a sprint button.
Yeah.
But it allows you to focus on. There's so many buttons. There's juking and there's spinning and there's stiff arm, and when you already have to sort of remind yourself to hit the sprint button, you sort of and you don't want to let go of it. You sort of forget what other. So this allowed me to focus on maneuvering in a run, not having to do the sprint. So I did think that was cool, and I used the right stick absolutely. One thing I did miss from the previous game was the telling one of your dudes to tackle someone for you while you're running. I don't know what that's called, but you would like if you're running, you hit up, and then some guy comes in and like that. I mean, it's not that arcade. It's not that arcadey.
You mean block?
But there was a couple times where I was like, yeah, that would be great.
Dude, the fumble recovery minigame,
fumble recovery, awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't feel the game flow made it arcadey at all.
Yeah.
However, it definitely does quicken the pace.
Sure.
And I loved it. I loved being told what kind of like what Call of Duty Modern Warfare, how like you weren't the commander, you were like one of the grunts doing something, and they tell you, okay, we're gonna go through that door and do the thing, and you're like, okay, now I have clarity, and I know what I'm gonna do, and I felt like a football player, not a coach. And there's other coaching scenes, like I always felt like I love just I'm doing the thing, and I love what it does to the pace of the game. One thing I will say is that I would say 90% of the Madden experience for me is playing with my friend sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And game flow in that scenario is not quite up to what it is in the single player, in that you can still do game flow, but obviously if you want to see what your routes are, the other person is looking right at them as well.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have the text and the audio where he's telling you what to do. That's completely gone, and that's an aspect of the game flow that I really did enjoy.
I didn't enjoy the game flow as much as you guys, but it's an easily avoidable feature. It's not something that you have to use. I found it often would give me advice that was inappropriate to the situation that I was in, which kind of bummed me out. But the thing I want to focus on, I don't know if you guys had a chance to play the online team play.
Well, I didn't because there's only one ability without purchasing.
We talked about that. Yeah.
I thought got it.
That is where the game completely clicked in, and I felt I had an experience unlike anything I'd ever had in a video game before. I was one of 3 guys on a team. It felt like when I would go to the park and play pickup basketball, or go to the park and play a game of flag football with or touch football with my buddies, where, man, you gotta throw me I would go on a route and make my cut, and I'd be like, I'm open, into the mic, and the guy would get me the ball, and he'd be like, good pass, man. I mean, there was a camaraderie that generated that felt like real sports. It was really cool, man. I dug the heck out of it, and I didn't expect to. I thought it wouldn't work because I was just playing pickup with people I didn't know, but it totally worked.
That's awesome.
There were some really thrilling, exciting moments. I was very impressed with that feature.
I played the team play as well, and I agree it is very fun and it is a very unique experience. It really makes you feel like you're playing football in a very true way.
You have to do your role, man. You gotta do it right.
Especially on defense, there's always something to do. On offense, it really reminds you of what it is like to play football, not to watch football, because when you're a receiver, he may throw it to you,
Run
he
your
might
route,
not,
baby.
and you're not always doing something, but you're always trying to get open. Like that is a very unique and cool experience. However, the bummer is playing for three quarters, and then you lose connectivity. It's like
happened to me,
and like that because games last so
maybe
long.
You should get a better Wi-Fi.
I have a wonderful Wi-Fi.
All right, I want to move on
hardcore.
and talk a little bit about a big game was announced, a surprise announcement this week, Bioshock Infinite, and it's actually a game that I really wanted Bioshock 2 to be. I talked a little bit about, I think to you guys, way back when Bioshock 2 was announced, and I don't know if I said it on the show or not, but I was like, they should make Bioshock in the sky. I wanted Skyoshock. Mentioned it last week on Weekend Confirmed, oddly, without knowing anything about this game. And then here's this huge announcement, huge surprise announcement. Irrational Games, Ken Levine, the guy who designed the first one, back. Very interesting. We saw the trailer, which is playing behind me. Interesting that Ken Levine has said their one design motto was no sacred cows. Just make a fresh, brand new, interesting take on this. And Dan, I'm curious we talked about it a little bit off camera, and you expressed
the trailer, right?
Expressed a little like ho hum, don't care.
Yeah.
Wake me when it's something new.
Right.
Now you saw the trailer.
Yeah.
Should I wake you?
I don't know. It's a great trailer, conceptually and visually awesome. I love the aesthetic. It reminds me of, it seems more 50s than 30s maybe, and it reminds me of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It reminds me of Vienna, like, whatever, I don't know.
Around the
Chitty
world
Chitty
in
Bang
30
Bang.
days,
But there's a uniquely American
80
thing,
days.
like the logo has the American flag, and it's interested to see what
true.
that's about.
It's true. I'm interested. I mean, I just, if the game, the fatigue I expressed to you was in a crazy world that's sort of gross and grody, and what is it all about? And
You don't see that being so much here, or you do?
no, I mean that could happen in this game. It might not. I'm kind of over that Bioshock did, and I really felt the fatigue in Bioshock 2. So what would bring me in this is going to be the announcement of game mechanics that are really fun and hopefully unique, not just the same thing transposed into Skyward, because basically it's the same game, it's just outside is clouds instead of Coral Reef.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you that there needs to be more than just now we're upstairs, you know what I mean, for this to be really excited. But that said, I enjoyed Bioshock. I really enjoyed Bioshock 2. Bioshock 3 is probably going to be a game that I really enjoy, no matter where it's set.
Yeah,
so
I don't know if it's 3 though. I don't think it's a continuation of the story. I think it's a new thing. I mean, it's Bioshock Infinite.
yeah, but I mean, yes.
I think it's going to be much more new. Like his comment about no sacred cows, I think is really a challenge to his team to reinvent what this franchise is.
Yeah,
Maybe what you're saying is that because we might get a Bioshock 3.
Yeah, we still might.
Later, like
from
as
a different
separate
team.
thing, like Modern Warfare and World.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there may not be a Big Daddy, but clearly there's some sort of big mechanical beast that you're going to have to pay. So, though it may not be labeled Bioshock 3, it's the third game of the Bioshock genre.
Well, it's certainly a franchise game, but I'm really hoping that it takes it in a new direction, and that direction isn't just up. It's forward.
Yeah.
And I am thrilled about it. This is exactly what I wanted. What I loved about the first Bioshock game, and what I felt the second Bioshock game didn't achieve because it was set in the same place, is that feeling of really exploring something that is beautifully designed and interesting, and around every corner there are surprises and interesting moments. And I think this is what that is going to be, because it's a completely new paradigm.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of trust in this team. It looks like there's still going to be that political kind of ideas in play that make this series so interesting. I'm super thrilled about this, and I hope there's jetpacks.
There have to be jetpacks.
Well,
How could there not be jetpacks?
if there's a swing, if I can swing to another hot air balloon, I'm good to go. So.
Swing. All right, everybody, before we get to our email, we do want to thank our sponsors, Netflix.com, my friends. What? Yes, sorry, Dan, you've got another one. So Netflix is the place to get movie and TV rentals through the mail, but not only through the mail. For as low as $8.99 a month, you can get things 2 ways. Through the mail, which is amazing. They send you a DVD or a Blu-ray. You put it in a little sleeve after you're done, send it back. 1 business day, boop, boop. Next one that you want to watch comes in the mail.
No postage.
No postage, no nothage. Except There's a second way to get it, which is internet streaming on your internet streaming device, which is now exploded. Computers, laptops, iPads, iPhones, PS3s, Wiis, 360s, the list goes on and on. It's a great way to get your movies. We recommend, of course, for the Edgar Wright folks, if you haven't seen Shaun of the Dead, amazing movie. And we actually reviewed Hot Fuzz, I think.
Yeah.
A little looker than Shaun of the Dead, but still an amazing, fun action-adventure comedy.
Episode 3 or something.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. So anyway, head over to netflix.com/TRS and get a 14-day free trial. Good luck and enjoy.
If you like that concept, the same
How about
thing
the same
works
concept?
for video games. $15.99 a month gets you a subscription to video games. GameFly has over 7,000 video game titles across a bunch of whole different systems. That sentence is interesting.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of whole different. And you pay your subscription fee, you have your queue, they send you the next one in the mail. You play it for as long as you want, no due dates, no late fees, no postage. You send it back when you're done, they send you the next one on your list. To pay for the postage.
No
nothing.
If you want to keep that game, you can click keep it and pay a small amount because you're already paying a subscription fee. You get to keep that one and they send you the next one on your list. Super great, super easy, and you can get a 2-week free trial by going to gamefly.com/TTRS.
Amazing.
I'm thrilled that we are now sponsored by Doghouse Systems.
Yeah, you wouldn't shut up about this a while ago.
I know.
I got a sweet gaming rig from Doghouse Systems. They're sponsoring this week, and the deal is, so they are gamers that make gaming machines.
That's a good
Specifically for what we need it. You know, they have the Armor series, the customizable Prism series. And
That's the one that you got? Which one did you get?
I got the Armor. I have an Armor TL. It is badass. I also have the Mobius line of laptops, which I haven't seen or tried. But I will say, like, I still have this machine now, and we like I saw when we had to play StarCraft 2, I was like, oh, now the machine's a year old. Like, I wonder how it, you know, and it was amazing. And I'm like, wow, this is gonna last me, because the computers I had before that, I got one every few months, and I just went up little increments. And I'm so glad I got a substantial machine. Their customer service is amazing in purchasing it and knowing what I needed it for and working me through what to get, as well as since I've had it. And the deal is too is like all their science in making it is not based on marketing and business decisions. It's based on how to make a good gaming rig. So
That's
they don't
awesome.
have, you guys probably know more about this, but they don't have like huge processors if you don't need it to do tasks that you don't need or something.
It's tailored to gaming.
Tailored to gaming.
I wish I had gotten mine from them, because I got mine several years ago and it's terrible.
Yeah. You had a lot of issues with yours.
I did.
You should have gone Doghouse.
Should have gone Doghouse, Jeff.
I was just in the doghouse.
Yeah.
And they post all of their benchmarks. So if you want to get a Doghouse machine, you should head over to doghousesystems.com, because you can get a promo code, or use the promo code TRS, and you get a $25 Jinx.
That's awesome. So you get like $25
TRS
free swag.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Or like maybe a cool sticker to put on your lap in your side of your case.
Yeah.
Also,
or laptop if you want one.
Also, the guys at Doghouse are giving away a workhorse machine to one lucky winner. Go to contest.doghousesystems.com for your chance
It'd be
to
funny
win.
if you didn't say machine and somebody's like, I won, and then a horse shows up.
Yeah.
We told you we were giving you a workhorse.
Amazing. You're like, what do I need a Clydesdale for? I don't have a house. All right, let's get to our email, shall we? I'd like to start by saying I'm a huge fan and have been watching since day one. Congratulations. My favorite part of the show is
You win.
that I feel like we're all friends, even though I've never met you. And that's true. We get that vibe a lot from people.
That's what we love.
That's what we love.
We love
Anyway,
when we do meet people and they're like, oh, let's hang out.
yeah. Anyway, to my question. Being my final year in college, I'm finally living with all of my best friends in a totally rad townhome all to our own. I love that they live in a totally rad townhouse. Each and every one of us is a geek, and it is not unusual to walk through the house only to see someone watching anime, playing Magic the Gathering, or gaming on Steam. I'm even planning on buying that D&D in a box for the house, which is awesome.
Which we showed last week or the week before last.
2 weeks ago?
And honestly, we should make a little note right here. It comes out September 7th. So we got a
September
lot
7th.
of people are like, well, how can I get that?
How can I get that? I want it. September 7th. Which, of course, will most assuredly result in all of us calling each other Blumpkin and Kronos in passing, which is amazing. Those are all D&D terms. Did any of you ever live in a geek house or with a group of geeky friends? If so, what was your favorite part? Or
I rolled a Blumpkin! Oh, God.
Horrible. Went there. Why did you go there? Thank you so much, Benjamin
Churlin. I'm sure it's Churlin.
Churlin. We'll go with Churlin. Primus 202. Interesting. First off, love Primus, which is great. That's why I learned how to play bass. So did you guys ever? I kind of talked about it in the Madden thing.
I did.
Okay.
Big time.
Hit
and
it.
I'm almost leery to admit the name of the house that I lived in with 7 dudes, senior year of college. We named our house. We christened it.
Okay.
Blumpkin?
No, it's worse. We called it the Masturbatorium. It's the Masturbatorium. It was the party house in college.
Really? Because that name does not say party. It says, I'm solo on this one.
That's the triumph. That's the triumph. We were so nerdy and so geeky, and yet we ran with the drama kids. So we had Jerry lived there, Ryan lived there, like a bunch of my friends, 7 guys.
Does sound fun.
It was awesome. We had for a while we had a trampoline in the backyard, but we did so many geeky things. There was like one PS1, and we all played PlayStation games. Like we played the first Resident Evil together. Like so one person holding the controller, everybody telling what to do, and leaping when demons flew out of windows.
Yep.
So much fun. I miss those days. I miss living with groups of people.
Yeah.
So great. There's always somebody doing something cool.
Yeah.
We made masks.
Okay, Dan.
Plaster Paris on the face.
It's like
That's how nerdy we were.
Paper cut out with your eyes.
No, like full on like.
Paper
we
mache,
wore them on graduation too. They were cool.
Sweet, sounds awesome. I didn't live in a geek house by any stretch.
I didn't leave in a geek house.
But
I
I never lived in a masturbatorium of any sort. However, I do. This does remind me of living in the dorms my freshman year of college, and there were some rooms that we didn't go into, and probably were not one of us. But there were some rooms where I remember a dude playing Siphon Filter, and he burned me a copy of Siphon Filter because I had my PS1 had a chip in it, and I
do not condone that.
It was bad. I had a dangerous past. I
He was a rebel in college.
And I remember my friend Mark, you guys know,
blow.
had the Phantom Menace PC game that we played beginning to end. We played the whole damn game. I loved that game, the original Phantom Menace game. But yeah, and then we played Metal Gear. One of the Metal Gears had come out. We were all playing it in our rooms together. So there was like pockets of rooms. I'm sure Madden was played here and there.
Yeah. Well, I had that same. I had both experiences. So I had the dorm experience.
You were that guy that lived with both of us.
Yeah, where we would play. I was very fortunate. 1994, bring you back to the lovely days of 1994, freshman year. We had high-speed internet Ethernet connections in our dorm rooms. Very rare in 1994. I had to go.
AOL,
do you remember when Napster was a thing?
Dude, it was way before Napster.
That's way before
I was
Napster, 'cause Napster was my
WSFTP and like searching for the
like
weird
20
wear
years younger than
stuff.
you guys.
So here's the thing. Because we were all on a high-speed network connection, all of us could, in our individual rooms, play LAN parties together. So we'd play Duke Nukem 3D, we'd play Command & Conquer and Warcraft, and play all of these games across. Like I would literally like start up a server, run down the hall to my buddies, and be like, "Dude, check it out. It's called like Ping Pong 4." And he'd be like, "I can't find it, man." And we'd be like, "Oh, check your net settings."
Yeah, that's what we did too. And Warcraft 2. I was
all of that in our dorm room.
Warcraft
Then.
2. Wow.
On my senior year, we rented a house on Davenport in Northwest DC, and I had 5 of the people that I played video games with all move into the house, and that was where it really solidified, because we had a couple people who were really into the sports games. So like we did FIFA 98, I think, or FIFA 97. We did we had a full World Cup challenge.
Cool.
So each of us got a team. We had brackets. We had to schedule our competitions, so people were like, you'd play against the computer, and they'd be like, "Have you done your thing yet?" And so they would be like, "All right, fine, I'll play my game." And then we would play each other as we were moving up the brackets.
Dude, awesome.
Awesome time with FIFA.
Dude,
and then,
I miss those days.
Yeah, and then lots of computer camp. I mean, a lot of like, we're taking the computers over to friends' houses and doing LAN parties. It was really fun, so yes. Geek houses are very good. Thank you so much, Benjamin, for sending in your question. If you'd like to have your question answered on the show, please feel free to send it to fans@totallyradshow.com.
That's also the place you would send us backgrounds. You're going to see a bunch of backgrounds. Thanks to everybody who sent in Scott Pilgrim backgrounds. Hopefully you get to see yours at the end of the show with your little name undernet.
Undernet. For the Geek House.
And thank you for sending in all those intro lyrics. We love those, getting those at fans@totallyradshow.com.
Correct. Packs and Maxis.
And Jinx, hey man, if you get your promo code, especially from Doghouse, go to jinx.com/TRS and get cool T-shirts and sweatshirts.
Hey, and wear them to PAX.
Wear 'em to PAX.
And also
Show your
Fan Expo.
badges.
If you're coming to Fan Expo, please come and say hi to me. I'm going to be at Fan Expo in Toronto on the 27th, 28th, 29th.
Yeah, lots of good stuff coming on.
Sweet. Sweet.
All right, well, that is it for this wacky episode of Totally Rad Show. I'm Alex Albrecht.
It's kind of up and down. I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan, going off Trachtenberg.
We'll see you next week. What? Okay, ready? All right, everybody.
I wasn't ready.
Okay.
Scratching my face.
I said ready. Ready? Now are you ready? Okay, here we go. Beep, 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 beep.